And we are live. This is the regular meeting of Rundfunk mitbestimmen. It's currently 16th of January, and it's currently just the two of us, Daniel and myself. I think it will be this for the meeting. I don't know, I haven't heard about other people who want to join in, but let's start. Jen, I think you were very busy last week. I think I've seen a couple of pull requests from your side, and I also merged one. Maybe you want to share your screen and show us what you did.
So yeah, last week I worked on the bubble chart.
Yeah. You got into D3, didn't you? How do you feel about D3 now?
Yeah, when when you look into it, it looks quite easy at the beginning. It's hard to start, but
it's hard to start, right? Once you got into it, it looks fairly easy. And much of it makes sense.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna start with the server Rundfunk mitbestimmen on my computer.
Or yeah, I've seen it today in our online or on-site workshop. We quickly discovered Rundfunk mitbestimmen and the new nice SVG files that we have there, which is awesome.
Oh yeah, I did the SVG files as well.
Even the the map is a SVG file. That's awesome. Is there any picture that is not an SVG file now? Any preview?
No, they are all SVGs.
That's amazing. Cool. Super awesome. It's great. And
yeah, at the beginning I wasn't sure about the map, but there was an SVG file underneath the other elements. First time I was looking, I just saw the leaflet and I was thinking it's something else, but yeah, then I found. I still don't know, is this re-rendered as well by using D3, the map?
I don't think so. You can just put images there, and if you follow the image tag, so you can right-click on. Oh, okay. So that visualization is as you rendered with leaflet.
Okay, so it's not D3 because it can be done in D3.
Yeah. So we're using several frameworks for visualization. So we use leaflet for maps. We used high charts for the basic charts. Column charts and so on, and we are using D3 for everything else, including bubble chart and the graph visualization. And there's Joseph. Hello, Joseph.
Hey.
Hey, Joseph.
Nice to meet you. You sound very happy. Did you have a great day, Joseph?
Yeah. No.
What has happened today?
So I created my first question on Stack Overflow.
Nice. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
And did you get upvotes?
It was answered. Yeah.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah, it was answered by Kyle Simpson. I don't know if you know him.
So it was actually answered. Now I don't know him. I'm not on Stack Overflow that recently. I'm always reading at Stack Overflow, but as I think in my career, I was also just submitting one question to Stack Overflow ever. And that was it so far. But I like people who submit questions to Stack Overflow. That's great.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, so this is high charts.
Okay, so you're saying this is not the using D3? I haven't looked.
No, this is done by high charts. It's much simpler because it's just one of those run-of-the-mill charts, and you can use a dedicated library for these kinds of things. If you want to check it out, you can go to high charts. You just have to provide some metadata, and that's That's it.
All right.
So you don't have to worry about the visualization anymore, which I find quite convenient. Yeah, I think there's also a company behind HighCharts. And there you go. You can just grab one of those visualizations you want, and then you can check out the code. And you can style things, and so on and so on. They have JavaScript fiddles. You can see the options. It's very well documented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's super easy.
So that's the data.
Exactly. All you have to do in your Amber app is to provide the data. The data comes from the backend, and you have to just to format it in a way that fits into this visualization. By the way, if you have more ideas for data visualizations, I would be very open for that. So just think about how could we make great data visualizations and to get more out of the data.
Yeah. So what I was thinking about the bubble chart. Where is? So we
By
can
the way,
have
we have Siri who just joined us. Hello. Hello, Siri.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Yeah, I was thinking we can have a drop-down menu to filter the data. Just if you just want to have TV or just radio on the chart.
Right. That's a good idea.
Yeah, another one. We can have a drop-down to choose the color scheme. That's two. I was thinking about something else. I wrote it in the on GitHub. Yeah, but I'm gonna start first with this chart, and I will see how it goes, and then I have some ideas. You can do lots of stuff with the free. So yeah, but I'll see how it goes with this one, and then I can carry on with the other ones.
Yeah, so the filtering option, we have it in many ways, in many places. We have it here. We also want to have it on the genre chart. We also probably want to have it on the relationships. So being able to filter for stations or genres or types is something we want everywhere. So it would be nice to have some sort of very generic middleware that is doing the job, that's somehow taking out filter params from the requests and then filters the returned broadcasts in one way or another. By the way, this would be a super awesome use case for GraphQL. GraphQL can handle that out of the box. Unfortunately, we're using REST and we're not using GraphQL.
Yeah, so I can filter it on the client side, probably.
Yeah, I would actually filter it on the server side because it takes some time to get the data out of the backend. So if you are not interested in all the data, maybe it'd be nice to tell the server about it so the server can respond quicker. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
So should I pass it as params or create some separate endpoints?
Yes, I would supply certain parameters, query parameters. And I would research how to do that in a REST interface, how to do it properly in a REST interface, and also how we can modularize it so we can use it in different locations. That's what I just said. We have several visualizations where we have the use case to be able to filter for stations or to filter for media types, radio, TV, and so on. And that would be very interesting for all these visualizations. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Maybe we can use I think in Rails it's called, maybe we can use a mix-in for the controller, something like that.
I don't know, I haven't looked into it yet. Yeah, now I was thinking to filter it on the client side because I get the data somehow. But I'm still not sure how Ember works, where it sends the request to the backend.
Yeah, I think for visualization, the data is sent not through the embed data API. Like embed data is the front end part that sends and transmits data through the JSON API. Can you quickly look up JSON API?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, this is a specification how the response of a JSON web document, a JSON document should look like.
Yeah.
And if your server speaks JSON API, then embed data can understand it and you don't have to implement anything your own. However, the data for the visualizations is not under JSON API because it's arbitrary data. Like it's like a series of data points, for example, right? And you have to customize it you have to match it with the front-end code and the back-end code. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm. So
for everything else, including support a broadcast, create a broadcast, update a broadcast, you can use the standard methods that are coming with embed data. But everything else, what is more custom, needs to be implemented by hand, manually. Does it make sense?
But you have endpoints for this. I saw a controller.
Oh yes. If you go to the code, then you can see how the. By the way, I think we can merge your pull request. If you go to pull requests, are you collaborator already?
Yes.
I'll give you approval for your pull request, and you can hit the merge button. I think I'm okay with using red for the. Okay, let me quickly, on my machine, I'm currently not following your screen. I'm checking out the pull request. Yes, I think that looks. If return chroma color get label L smaller than 40, what does that mean?
Because when the color is too dark,
I see.
I show you here. This or red, and black text doesn't look good on this. So
yes,
I'm checking the contrast and.
Oh, there's so many hearts. That is also nice. Are the hearts already implemented?
No, I just made this to show you, that red might be.
Seriously, actually, I think I like that. I think I like that. Can you please update your pull request and use hearts instead of bubbles or just circles? Seriously, I really like it.
But yeah, I probably have to correct this a bit because I have this SVG, then I scale it, then I rotate it, and so on. So I have probably just update the SVG so I don't have to scale it and rotate it. Just have the file because then it's less work for the computer to.
I didn't get the last sentence. So can you update the shape of the bubbles quickly, or is it not possible?
Yeah. Instead of instead of a circle, I'm pasting a path. Yeah.
Yes.
SVG. But now the code, the heart I found is rotated 90 degrees, so I have to rotate it, then scale it because it's too big. So I have to update first the SVG file, so I don't have to process it every time. Like for every request, every heart is processed, and if I can, just update the SVG to proper size, then I don't have to do it.
The base SVG is you want to mutate the base SVG, so you don't have to do it on the computer anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah, I understand that. So once you do that, you think you can ship it?
Yeah, no problem.
I think I like it. I really like it. Really, I want this. I want hearts with bubbles. It makes also much more sense. Also, red hearts are good.
Exactly. So
blue hearts.
Yeah, I will update this and
Yes, please.
but
That's amazing. What do you think about it, Joseph or Siri? Joseph and Siri, you're both muted.
Yeah, we're here. Yeah, it looks nice, I think.
So Siri says it looks nice, and what does Joseph say about it?
It's nice.
Yeah. So for me, the question would be: so for some are like darker blue, and their hearts are small, and there are others which are big with like a light color. So what does that mean? I thought the darker it was the
Yeah, you're right. Actually, you're making a good point here. Why do I like the heart shapes more than the bubble shapes? Because it's expressing approval. It's something people love this item, this broadcast, whatever. And what you're saying, Joseph, is also a good point because you're questioning what does the color actually mean? In this case, the thickness, like the red, the more red a broadcast is, the more change has been. And the size of the heart means how much data in the last 3 months was available.
oh, okay.
So maybe we can instead encoding the change into the color, maybe we can encode the change into
the size.
Maybe the size.
But it's awesome. How long did it take you, Daniel? Have you worked with D3 stuff before?
No, I started last week. This was quite easy because it was round. So I just changed the shape that's re-rendered. So yeah, this took me, I don't know, maybe half hour.
What do you think? What do you think if we not use colors, we use another shape? So do you think it would be possible to have an half empty heart symbol? Do you see
Half
what I
empty?
mean, Daniel?
You mean outline?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe you can search for it on the web and search for outlined heart symbol or half outlined heart symbol, maybe.
For this one I can just instead of using the fill attribute, use the outline. I don't remember how it's called in SVG. But yeah, it's SVG is easy to change the outline color.
And do you think it's easy to spot where the changes are then? Because you want to explain a message, right? The data visualization is twofold. It's the data on the one hand and the data analysis, like as a preparation, and then the visualization itself, which tells the reader a message that probably everyone can understand. And it should be telling you something on a glimpse, like in 1 second. Does that make sense? Like that, this is very important. That's the reason why I like the heart shape, because it's the heart-shaped symbol itself is telling you something. Now, in order to say there was a decrease or increase, we might not want to use colors. We might want to use the outline or fill the heart until a certain percentage, maybe. So you have a outlined heart, and then the percentage how much of the heart was filled is the percentage of change. Something like that, maybe.
But what do you mean by field? Because
Yeah, I will screen share my screen now. So hard. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Hard outline. Simple. And now I search for hard symbol half filled. Like this. Do you see this?
Yeah.
So you could, for example, if there was a decrease, you maybe want to decrease the percentage here up to a certain degree. So you can immediately spot hearts that are empty or that have gotten empty. And for the positive change, something that bad? Like how would it look like if it's more than it was before? Like how can we show a heart that was something like that maybe beating? Or I don't know. I don't have a good idea. Or maybe this.
It can be animated, but I don't know how it will work with
I would probably say animations are not a good idea because it's it's getting really distracting. But I don't know. It's really hard. That's a difficult question. Seriously. Something like that? Do you think it would look okay?
Sorry, but I think it's better to...
Yes? Really?
Sorry.
We're listening.
Okay, I think it's... I'm thinking about having a chart with full of not half-filled hearts, and I don't think it will look really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I think it's better to stand with the hearts and to try to figure out what will be the best shape between the colors and what will be best for the color and the size. Yeah.
Maybe we want
try
to
figure out which algorithm will match better.
Yeah, maybe we want to merge the pull request for now, and as a next step, maybe find a good way to deliver the message. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm still on it, so I'm open to ideas.
Right. So now I will say color, text color. Yeah, that makes sense. Not many people have taken part into the poll, right? Oh, Siri and Omar.
Sorry?
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand this async vote. So more people are in line with what you say. So Daniel, I think you voted for red is good.
Yeah.
So I'll keep everything as it is. And I'll say great job. Great job. First place. Now we can merge the pull request, I think.
So should I press this?
Oh yes. Please press merge.
Confirm merge.
You can also delete the branch because that's not relevant. You don't need it anymore. It's also from your fork. You can also push the branch directly to our repository if you want.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Siri, are you interested in the data visualization? You had some concerns regarding the appearance or the way how you can spot changes. Maybe you can also combine things. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have a half-empty heart for the decreased hearts, you know? You can use color and shape to encode an information. It doesn't hurt to do that. Right? We can keep the color and still make it more obvious by having half-empty hearts or something. Does it make sense?
Yeah, one problem with half-empty hearts, I will have to probably make like two hearts, one on top of the other, because you got a shape and you fill it somehow. In SVG, you cannot fill it half, so you have to draw something on top to cover.
Yeah, it's difficult. I see. I think I'm okay with the current state. Just the hearts. Just having the hearts would be awesome. There's also Mike who has joined us. Hello, Mike.
Hello. Nice stuff, Kukula.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, yeah, so both of your pull requests got merged, and that's amazing.
Stanley knife. 1 second. I'm right back. 1 second.
Yeah, it's no problem. I wanted to switch over to Siri, for example, maybe. Siri.
Yes, I'm here.
Your week. Did you work on certain features or on the mailing thing? Did it work out for you? Or did you find the reason why the test was failing?
I'll take a look at it, and I wanted to pair with Face, and unfortunately she wasn't free yesterday, but we planned to do some pairing this week.
I think you managed to fix all backend tests. Was that correct? I think there was just one backend test. I think you managed to fix all the backend tests. Is that correct?
Yeah, I started, but when I pushed the comments that I was working on local, and I found that there was so many that didn't fail on my local, and that was tricky for me. And after I updated the code,
So you were the tests were passing on your machine, but once you pushed it up stream, then the build server was failing.
Yeah.
Shall we maybe have a look together?
But now I put it all the code, and it's no more working now. Sorry, let me.
So it's also not working on your machine anymore. But maybe you want to show us the state, the commit that was working on your machine, which wasn't working on the build server.
Okay. All right.
You can also, you're not screen sharing, by the way. If you want to show something, you should screen share.
Okay.
And there's Daniel. Yeah, we switched to Siri. He wanted to show us. So he had issues to debug things, and he got all the backend tests passing on his machine, but not on the Traverse server.
Okay.
And also, Siri, did you try out the Docker setup on this branch, on this particular branch?
Sorry?
Did you try out the Docker setup on this particular branch?
No.
I would suggest to do so, because especially on that branch, we have Mailhawk, and you can watch the delivered emails on your machine when using Docker.
Okay. Is the sharing working for me?
Oh, yes, we can see your screen. We see a terminal. Maybe you can increase the screen with the font size a little bit, if that's possible.
Okay, how can I do it?
Good question. I don't know. Make text bigger. Command or Apple key plus button.
Is it okay?
Yeah, can you type something? Yeah, I think I can read it. I think it's large enough. How about the others? Daniel, Joseph, Mike?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Right, cool. So I can see RSpec, that's great. And Ken, what commit are you currently on and what branch? If you tell us the branch name, you can have a look on the build server. Why Zeus was
Yeah, it's
failing
the
there.
849 send notification broadcast.
Yeah, maybe you want to open your browser and show it,
Yeah,
us.
maybe.
Show it to us in the meantime. And we have a look into your terminal later on. Also, if you run tests, always check what commit you are on and if you did make any changes in the meantime. You can check with git status.
Okay. It's that one.
Right. So
Yeah.
if you go through the commits, you can see all the build server results. So it was failing all the time. And if you click on any of those red cross marks, then you can. So you updated, you pushed your code 5 days ago.
Yes.
And if you click on that red icon, this red cross symbol, you can see what was actually failing. Okay, so that's interesting. You see that the pull request branch was failing, but the push build wasn't failing. What does that mean? Joseph and Mike, can you maybe explain what it means if we have, what it means in general to have those two different checks there? What's
So
the difference?
I can't see it's dark on my side. I can't see.
Oh, okay. Mike, can you see?
Yeah, now I can see. Now I can see. Now I can see.
Can you go back to the browser and see the two different test cases? Siri, could you open the browser and show us the pop-up window with the one test case failing, one test case succeeding? Yeah, I think this is the failing test case.
Yeah, there is something with Sidekick, and that was working on my local machine. That's why the thing was, it was strange for me.
Yeah, but can you quickly show us on GitHub the window that's showing us that the PR build was failing and the push build wasn't failing? If you click on the red cross icon.
It's here.
I think it takes a while. There's a delay in the screen sharing. But that's fine. Or, I mean, Joseph, Mike, what does it mean if the pull request build was failing, but the push build is not failing? Or Daniel, maybe you can say something about it.
The red
I
X.
have no idea.
Wait, you said the push and the build is failing, but the push is.
For every commit we have, for pull request, we always have two builds. One is called PR, one is called push, as you can see.
Interesting.
Can you go back to the browser, Siri? Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know the difference? Okay, so the difference is the push build is the branch that you checked out locally. The pull request build is the commit if you merge the current master. Right? It's like being on the master and having the merge already.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So what do you think, if you see this, what could be the cause of the problem? Why was the pull request build failing, but not the push build, which is just your branch and nothing else? But
I think there was.
Siri?
Hello. Yeah. Okay. I think there was something on the master that was not on my branch that I was working. I think maybe the code base evaluated on the master branch that didn't merge it on the branch that I was working on.
Yes,
So
and
that's
yes.
what.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
okay.
hit the nail on the
Okay.
on the top. So it must be something that wasn't that's not on your branch right now, but it's on the master, which is failing the build. And if you check out the build now, if you check out the log of the build, which you did before, you can actually see that, for example, Rubocop is failing. It's complaining now because Rubocop was updated in the meantime.
A minor complaint.
Other things also complain, and Rubocop is finding code violations.
Sorry?
If you go to the build log, if you click on details on the failing build.
Okay.
It's nice that you learn this today. What's the difference between PR and push build? Right.
Yeah.
So if you now scroll down and see what is the actual problem, and you
The Rubocop one is a minor, I think, because there was just a class number of line on the classes.
Yeah. In order to fix that, you have to update Rubocop on your branch and fix the code violations. But
yeah, but there was other failing tests related to Sidekick and the mailing things.
That might be because Sidekick was updated, and you also have new code that is somehow related to Sidekick, and that code doesn't work anymore with the new version of Sidekick. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So it makes perfect sense why the build server is failing on the PR build and it's not failing on the push build, which is just your branch and nothing else. Right? We can have a look.
Sorry?
It makes perfect sense. If you would now debug the whole thing or try to reproduce the failures on your machine, I'm also typing that into the chat because I think the connection is not that good.
Yeah, the connection is very bad.
Try to reproduce the test, the failing build on your laptop. What do you have to do? It's in the chat.
Okay.
And the question can also be answered by everyone else. Joseph, Mike, and Daniel, what do you think?
So he has to merge with the master.
Exactly, that is the answer.
I have to merge the master?
Yes, if you merge the master into your current branch, you will face the same errors that you have on the build server.
All right, okay.
Right, does it make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool. Any more updates from your side, Siri?
Yeah, that's the only thing I was working on, I think. And after this, I think I will try to figure it out and finish with the PR maybe before the end of this week.
Oh, don't worry about it. I would suggest you that you want to set up Docker because it's you can inspect the emails sent. If you
I was on the Dockerizing session last time, but it was a bit more technical for me.
It is already Dockerized. You don't have to Dockerize anything. You just have to say.
I was.
I think that's the only thing you have to do. Just install Docker and run Docker Compose up. Oh, the connection is really bad today. Joseph, Mike, and Daniel, can you hear me?
Yeah. without problems.
All right, so it's currently the connection of Siri, because I don't know if it's my internet connection. I don't know. Maybe we can just continue on with Joseph. Joseph, your turn.
I don't have anything.
You don't have anything to add?
Yeah.
Is there something you would like to work on? I mean, we have a couple of people here now working on different construction sites, as you wish. Siri is busy in the back end. Daniel is busy in the front end. Would there be tasks that you be interested to work on?
In the front end?
You would be interested to work in the front end.
Yeah. Yeah, but I have the task. I don't know if it was finished yet, the Twitter feed.
Yeah, so I think it was the component, the data privacy thing, and alternatively, the refactoring of the chart legend in the bubble chart visualization. Is that correct?
Yeah. Those two.
Yeah, so now Daniel, by coincidence, refactored the bubble chart itself. Maybe it would make sense with the new knowledge that Daniel has acquired to update the bubble chart. What do you think?
Yeah.
Because Daniel recently got into D3, so it would be a logical step forward.
Yeah.
Okay, so, well, if that's it, I would continue on with Mike. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, Mike, you're muted.
Yeah,
So having fun. That's great.
yeah, they're dancing around.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So I don't have anything I've worked on for this project.
Mm-hmm. You don't have anything to work on for this project?
I have worked on this week for this project.
So you haven't worked for RFM this week, or do you have nothing to work on?
I have nothing to work on. Okay, I will ping Kukula on the refactoring bubble chart task.
Together with Joseph?
Yes, so that we can look it with him.
If you want to have another task assigned, I'm perfectly happy to do so. You just have to tell me something. That was my question. You didn't work on the project, or you have nothing to work on. So you're asking me to give you something, to assign you something.
Yeah,
or is everything okay?
We can get something to work on. Yes.
So you want something to work on.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Let me check our issue list. There's even the anonymized data dump, which is not currently up to date, isn't it? Wasn't there things to do?
Yeah. I really don't
passing.
I really don't know how to, because to anonymize it, I have to probably, mix the IDs in the database, and that's a bit tricky.
I don't think it is necessary, honestly. I think it's perfectly fine not to do it. But I was interested why on earth is the build server suddenly fading. Okay, so this is Rubicorp, and there's Rubicorp. Okay, so same thing again. We have probably two builds. Oh. So apparently for pull requests of a fork, so Daniel is using his fork, so you can see it here, Daniel Kukula, and then his branch name. He's using a fork, so we don't have two builds for this branch. We just have the pull request build. right? You see this? I show you as a comparison. I show the other pull request. Send notification when broadcast is created. So here we have two. Can you see? Two branches. And here we have just one, right? That is because Daniel is sending us this pull request through a fork. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Why we have only one build? So this build is failing, and it's failing because of an updated dependency. So I would ask to Dekuku to, what does he have to do? Could you please? Does anyone know what I have to put in here? Daniel, you said it before already. You had paid attention to what Daniel
merge master.
Exactly. Could you please git merge origin master? Maybe update. Update the branches first.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. I have to merge with upstream master.
Yeah, given that origin is the name of this remote. I don't know what you call origin on your machine.
Yeah, origin is mine on the fork.
So yeah, you know what I want to say, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so back to topic. You want to find something for Mike? So that is assigned to Joseph, although this is something I think he can also get some help on.
No.
I think this has been done. I think this has been done. We have the YouTube video on our landing page, right? Yes, we have. So this is supposed to be closed a long time ago. Okay. What else? How did that work, actually? I think you created some seeds, Matt and you, right?
Some?
Mike, you and Matt, you were working on the seed data. You created some historical data for the seeds. Right?
Yes.
According to Iono Mike, this is closed. Is it correct?
Yes.
Cool. There we go. And
is it merged? Because, the seed data wasn't really good.
okay. Seems so. Cannot see in our list of, I cannot see it in the list of pull requests. Bump. So many dependencies. I mean, it's really great to have the dependencies updated and the tests are checking everything, right? So that's a great advantage. Okay, I don't find seed. Oh, there we go. November 8th. Yeah, we have some historical data.
Okay, that's the data I had. So
good. So I would say, but I would still say it's kind of closed. Is it? Or would you want to create more seed data for the historical broadcasts? What do you think?
I don't know. I've got
Me neither. Me neither. RSpec Brakeman and Rubocop rake task. This has been closed. Closed by rake. Oh, that's something else? break. I don't know which pull request that was, but it was definitely closed by Faith some time ago. Close. So many issues we can close. Nice. Is there some good first issue maybe? What's about that? Yeah, wouldn't be that something interesting for you? So if I go to the page and we have this this block here, and I'm on a real small screen size, then this doesn't look very nice. Okay, what would be a better solution, Mike? Mike, are you still with us? You're muted, Mike.
Hello.
Yeah, I was asking if we don't want to have these very, very small columns on mobile devices. What would be a better solution? It's a comparison. So we're comparing. It makes sense to put it next to each other on larger screen sizes, but on mobile it's just too narrow. Or the others, maybe you have a good idea. You can also chat with us, Mike. Noisy here. Yes, you're muting.
Yeah,
Daniel, Joseph, and Siri. Are you still with me?
Yeah, we can stack the cards on smaller screens.
Yes, exactly. I would stack them vertically, right? So we have this one up here and the one on the right side and below that. Okay? Much easier to read. Shall I assign you, Mike?
Mike said that he will be right back. So.
Okay. I'm going to assign him later. I cannot find the issue. Ah, there we go. All right. Good. More questions from anyone? Anything where you need help? Anything that you have on your heart right now? Anything you wanted to ask me all the time,
because
and you didn't have the chance to do so?
We're using D3 for some kind of charts and other variables for others. I might try to, swap the horizontal charts with D3, so we don't have to use so much. So they are easy to do in D3, and yeah, I can learn. Probably.
Go for it. Yes, if it's very easy to use with D3, then of course we can get rid of high charts. I don't know how much.
Yeah, this should be
high charts brings
easy.
in. You can maybe check how much. If you remove high charts from the build, how does the file size is impacted? Do you know how you can check it?
Not sure, but yeah, I can probably build it myself, and it should show after the build how much it takes.
Yeah, so if you just go to our website and check out any visualization, you can share a screen, please.
1 second. It's here. Share screen. Okay, that's yeah, that's the visualization right now.
So this is implemented with D3, but there are others that are not implemented with D3. and you can have a check how much if you reload the page, how large the application is. So if you go to the network tab in your developer tools, and
can you see my console now or my?
No, I can see your browser, but I cannot see the developer tools.
Okay, because I disconnected the window when I'm sharing, then.
I can still see your screen.
Okay.
You can see the comparison of.
Yeah, now? Can you see the developer tools?
Yes, and if you go to the network tab, and you reload the page, then you can see how much megabyte are transferred in the bottom menu. So it's currently 1 megabyte. Is it correct? About 1 megabyte. And if you move
where do you see this 1 megabyte?
It's at the very bottom.
Okay, I've got this Google Hangouts, it's sharing window on top of this. So
it's you have 25 requests, 112 kilobytes transferred, about 1 megabyte. It took 6 seconds and so on. So these are the stats, and those should improve if you get rid of high charts. And if you're doing the whole refactoring, you can also think how we can improve the message here. So I was using the bar chart for comparison just because it was easy to implement. Much better would be to have the difference of the expected versus the actual amount, right? Just to have that, and to have it on, and to put the y-axis in the center of the screen, and just see this is better than expected, this is worse than expected. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. And how you measure the expected amount? Because actual is easy, but expected?
Expected is how many people clicked on the broadcasts, and how many people click. So we track how many people click, how many see a broadcast, and they just click next, right? So if you ever seen a broadcast and you didn't support it, we track that, right? And then we can compare how many people want to support a broadcast once they see it, once they read it, right? Does it make sense?
Yeah, I will think about this because
yeah, it's also questionable if that's a good way to measure it. But I was just asking myself, how can we get out the randomness of and how can we make it more representative, right? So if you have if broadcasts are usually more visible because they get suggested more often, then it's logic that these broadcasts also get more support because more people had the chance to do so. Does it make sense? It's now a little bit complicated, but if you go to the Find Broadcast page, and you just click through the broadcasts and you search only for TV broadcasts, let's say, then you will only support TV broadcasts and you've never seen any other broadcasts. You had not a chance to see the others, right?
Yeah.
And that means all the new broadcasts didn't have the opportunity to get votes, right? If you create a new broadcast, it's there from scratch and it starts at 0. Right? And that doesn't mean nobody likes the broadcast. It just means it was recently added to the database.
Yeah, I understand.
So that's a bias, and we want to get rid of that bias. And how can you get rid of that bias? It would be a very interesting question. You just have a database, and there are new broadcasts coming in every week. And how can we still have something to compare with? Right? And that's where the expected amount comes from. So how many people have seen this broadcast already? And what would we expect, given that we know the average? And so we can just divide all the impressions. So you can use the total amount and divide it with impressions. If you go to the start page, you have if you scroll further down, you have the total amount, which is right now more. Okay. Can you scroll down more? Yes. So we have 11,000 euros, or almost 12,000 euros, and we divide that by 72,512. And then we get like the average cents that people would give once they see a broadcast, because there's always a likelihood that people want to support a broadcast. So if you just have a random computer or a random person who's just supporting broadcast randomly, then everyone would probably more or less get the same. And you would have an expected amount, a different expected amount for each broadcast, depending on how many views it had in the past. So broadcasts that have been in the database for a long time have a higher expected amount than broadcasts that have been in the database just last week or so, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where the expected amount comes from, right? And we compare the actual amount with the expected amount to say, well, this seems to be a very popular broadcast. Does it make sense?
Yes.
It's difficult. It's difficult. I also had to get my head around this problem. If you find a better solution for it, or if there's some research about it, please let me know. All right.
Just a question: how many visitors you have on average, like, you know, in 1 week?
Not very many. So I think it's every day maybe 10. But okay. There had been media reports, and once there's something about RFM in the media, or there's someone who shares the link on Reddit, you have much more traffic.
Okay, because what I'm thinking right now, maybe you should have here a section that shows random broadcasts from the database, and you can, you know, say that you like it or not. Just, you know, when someone lands on the page, you can get data from him straight away. He doesn't have to register and, you know, but through the broadcast. Just, you know, have a couple of them and rotate it. Yeah. So
yeah, but then we have a problem, because if you don't, we only have data from people who registered. Mm-hmm. Right? Because we don't know where we can, to which user account we can connect the suppression, right? Okay. There's nothing we have. We could maybe use the IP address or whatever, but I don't want to do that. So you need to have some kind of profile in order to keep data with it. From people who are not logged in, we don't get any data. We're not tracking any data. Only if you're logged in. If you can only write into the server, you can send data right into the server only if you're logged in. If you're not logged in, you cannot write any data into the database. That's also another big problem. So putting it on the first page it might help people to immediately sign up, because if they click on support, they get redirected to the login page. So maybe people will sign up. So yeah, if you want, you can combine find broadcasts and the welcome page. Maybe, why not?
Mm-hmm. So find broadcast and I'm not logged in.
You will not send any data.
Okay, so I'm going to support, and I have to log in. All right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Siri has left us. Goodbye, Siri.
Hi, Robert.
Yeah, and the mic is back again. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this page especially needs to be fixed. There are so many user experience flaws. So, for example, the title is there's not enough space between title and input field. The 4093 results have so much space that's unnecessary. So here we have a lot of things to improve on this page. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Mike, if you want, you can also fix some spacing here. That would already be a good contribution. But I assigned you to another issue. I assigned you to this mobile responsiveness issue. All right? Does it make sense to everyone? Yep. Is everyone happy so far?
Yeah.
Cool. Any more questions? maybe.
Um,
I think Daniel, you get into the whole application more and more. Is that correct? You get a feeling what is the meaning have this application?
I need more knowledge about Ember.
Yeah,
because I'm still lost with Ember.js, where it comes from, where it goes.
Right.
Maybe a question that's not part of RFM.
Yes.
But what would you advise as the best CI/CD solution for a private project, like with the lowest cost, maybe?
The best CI/CD solution. So what is a CD solution? I think CE refers to continuous integration.
Yes.
Continuous delivery. CD.
Continuous delivery. I don't know. I'm not using any CI solution that is only for closed source projects.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm using Travis all the time because it's a Berlin-based company, and I like Travis, and they're doing a lot of things for the open source company, and I'm most familiar with Travis. I haven't tried out the others so far.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome. I mean, it can't help you really, but yeah, why not using Travis? Is there something that's is there a disadvantage of Travis?
Nope. Okay, I've only used Bamboo before.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was looking for the lowest cost solution for
Travis. It doesn't cost you anything.
But I think for private projects it costs.
Yeah,
have
right.
a private Git repository.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never had that problem before. I'm exclusively working on open source.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Then I would call it a day, maybe. What do you think?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I hope you learned something today.
Yeah, as always.
Yeah. Great. Then I'm very happy about it. Okay, Mike, Daniel, see you next time.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good week. Bye.